Hey everybody, it's Dr. Brockenshire coming to you mid-August, Michigan, with the nonsense. Looking tomorrow at Monday, our governor is saying that if you happen to be next to somebody with a sore throat for more than 15 minutes, within 6 feet of them, then you have to isolate for up to 14 days or until you find out that that person gets tested for COVID and tests negative. Now, I'm exempt as a healthcare provider, as are caregivers, etc. But is that not the most asinine thing anyone, never mind an elected official, but anyone could say this time of year? Let me show you why. You're looking at today's allergy forecast. Look at Monday, 9.2. Tuesday, 10.2. Wednesday, 9.8. We're in the heart of ragweed season. That gives people a sore throat. So if I did that and you're standing next to me, you need to self-isolate for 14 days. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This whole situation continues to get worse. That being said, don't freak out. It's probably allergies. Remember the symptoms of allergies: runny nose, sore throat, dry throat, subtle cough, low-grade fever, mild gastric upset, fatigue. Sounds like what everybody's freaking out about. So don't freak out. Let's talk about reminders. Remember. Days are getting shorter, unfortunately. Get back in your Soul D. Start taking 5 sprays a day. If you have these symptoms, if you think it's allergies, remember D-Hist? D-Hist was made for ragweed season. 3 twice a day with a little warm water. If you're real sinusy and mucusy, easy one to remember, Sinotrol. 2 to 3 twice a day. That should handle it. If it's not, if it's really throaty and you just can't seem to clear it, I love the Histaid by Quicksilver. 3 to 4 pumps as needed. The trick with all of these special pumps is to hold the solution in your mouth for up to 30 seconds. I don't want to hear how it tastes or you can't do it. Do it. Because the more you do it, the more your body becomes accustomed to the taste, you'll actually start to crave it. This is safe for kids. Speaking of kids, D-His comes in a junior. Okay? These are chewables. Don't try and swallow the rectangle. Chewables. 2 chewables equals 1 adult. Okay? So if you've got an 80-pound child, they can have up to 8 a day without a problem. And layer in the Histaid, and everybody feels better. Now, if it's really sinusy and drainy and you just can't clear it, remember, Sambucus is for the mucus. Sambucus is a form of elderflower. This isn't the elderberry, this is elderflower. This helps the mucous membranes deal with what the environment is throwing at it. If you look at the pollen that we're exposed to under a microscope, it looks like broken glass and little barbs. And it's all sticking in here in your ears. So when you get a COVID test and they ram that thing up your nose, so much so that it's coming out your ear, they're ramming everything else that's in your sinus cavity deeper and deeper. One of the things you can do to help yourself is to do sinus irrigation. That's where you just squeeze some salt water up the sinuses and let it drain out the other side. Okay? You can use a neti pot. You can use a device called the Neil Med. It's Neil Med. A little squeezy bottle. You can get those at any drugstore. I do recommend that if you have chronic sinus issues this time of year, rinse your sinuses. If it's a throat issue, gargle warm salt water. don't go outside in the early morning hours. Okay, pollen is at its worst up till 10 a.m. and after 7 p.m. Now, if we have a dry, windy day, the pollen blows around, it's going to be bad then too. In the insanity of everything that's going on in our world, believe it or not, now would be a good time to use a mask if you have to be outside during that time, because that will keep the pollen out. But don't forget to cover your eyes. Okay? So if you work out outside and you have allergies, don't do it early morning or late evening. Okay, try to stick midday. And if you're really suffering, now's not the time to go for it and go big. However, if you have to because you're training for something, I don't know what you're training for, everything's canceled. But if you have personal goals, the Camu Vitamin C, or the Vitamin C Liposome, or the Bio C Plus, any good quality vitamin C helps buffer a lot of those symptoms. Okay? Now, a lot of you are wondering, well, what about the homeopathics? Well, when in doubt, drainage milieu. Drainage milieu helps drain. Now, if you only have lymph remedies, if you've got lymph 1 or 2, you can use that as well. But remember, from all aspects of science, social media, psychotics, the works, this situation's not going away, okay? This is not a commentary about COVID. This is to remind you that the best defense against the insanity of our state and our world right now is the most vital immune system that your body can create for you. And that starts with clean food, clean water, clean air, good sleep, and good movement. You've got to find a way to do all those things. If you need supplemental help, you know what we can do for you. Last but not least, because things seem to be getting a little crazier, don't forget about the hemp oil, okay? CBD and CBG, which is in here, help modulate the immune system, help keep us calm. One of the fastest ways to run yourself down is to stay stressed out and not sleep. If you're not sleeping and you can't manage stress, ask us for help. That's what we do. Okay? So remember, if you're confused, you don't know what's going on with yourself, it's probably allergies. Get off social media, call some friends, say hi, and remember, we're here to help. Enjoy August.